A big thank you goes out to Skillshare for sponsoring this week's video. Hello everybody, hope everybody's doing well. This week I've come out to an area that I haven't been out to for a long time, probably a couple of years, and that's Tofino, which is a very popular area for tourists and surfers. And I'm here with His Lordship, Mr. Hardcastle, and the missus.
This looks heavy.
And we're heading up that hill up there, which I've never been to.
I'm excited, it's going to be brilliant.
Yeah? So how long ago did you do it? You did a video there,
2
right?
years ago.
2 years. I'll leave a link up up here.
That looks really heavy.
It is. I'm building my muscles, man. Oh, this is exciting. Bit of an adventure. Because I put my jacket on, I think I need to take it off again.
You're gonna try and make me look fit, aren't you?
All right, so we've made it to the summit. As you can see, it's quite overgrown up here. So there aren't that many locations where you can get a clean shot. But this is what we're going for behind me here. And you can see there's quite the bank of fog in the distance. But you know, if we get some light, it might work out okay. Towards the ocean is very foggy, and then there's more ocean in front of me. It's quite foggy that way as well. So this is what we're kind of hoping for, this section here. This is really impressive. So you can see the coastline here. Almost got 360-degree view, but this area is quite covered in trees. So, hopefully you can hear me over the wind. We got, there's another hill over that way, more stuff out that way, and then this way, it's still quite cloudy, but that's what we're going for. When you look this way, you can see all these islands and hills and the ocean. It's really quite beautiful. So we're going to go down the hill a little bit to a lookout where we might get a better view to take some images. Incidentally, this is all old growth forest, but as you can see, the trees are quite spindly and small. That's because they're always pounded by winds and storms and such, so they don't really grow that big. And the soil around here isn't as good as, say, some of the valleys. What do you think of this scene? So it's been quite foggy for pretty much most of the afternoon. But now all of a sudden the sun has come out and it's just glorious. Now unfortunately this side here, which is kind of my favorite part, I don't know, there isn't getting any real direct light, so it still looks a bit flat. But closer to the sun, this section here is just beautiful. So I'm just taking mostly panos. What do you think, Gavin? Panos?
This is just magnifique. Yeah, I'm doing panos, but I'm trying to do it in a way so that each frame kind of works on its own as well.
Good idea. There's actually a lighthouse out there. Do you know the name of that island?
No, I didn't even know there was a lighthouse. Looks like it's got a cross on it, but it's just a lighthouse, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, that in itself, that whole tableau.
Oh, maybe I should. Maybe I'll go for that. So we're thinking of coming up here maybe tomorrow morning.
Yeah, maybe, if you want.
What time does the sun come up though? 7:30? 7?
Yeah, it's probably really early. No, it'd be way earlier than that.
Is it? 6?
Yeah, that's early.
Well, at least it doesn't take long to get up here. It's pretty quick. Good morning, everybody. I think we got up a little bit late this morning. What a beautiful morning. Look at this scene behind me here. You see a little bit of pink back there. So, I didn't do much vlogging yesterday, but decided to come out to the same area that we were at yesterday. But we got up a little bit late, which is not unusual. I'm still here with Gavin and Amanda. We managed to find a camping spot last night. Right, better hurry up before so we get some decent light. Well, I made it to the top of the hill. Should have got up earlier, at least half an hour, 45 minutes earlier. But look at this. This is just absolutely spectacular. Now, I'm in two minds whether to go over here. So if I go to the summit, I get a great view looking down, and there's lots of fog in the trees there. But this is a nicer scene. I think I'm going to have to come here tomorrow as well. So I better get set up. I think I'm going to stick with this for now. And I don't know, that looks really tempting though. It's one of those situations where you can't get both, it's either one or the other. Mind you, I did take this yesterday, but I think the weather is supposed to be really nice tomorrow, so I'm going to go for this morning and then come up here again tomorrow morning, get up a little bit earlier. Gavin and Amanda are still making their way up the hill. It's funny, when we came up last night, it didn't seem that bad, but first thing in the morning, after just one cup of tea, it's a bit of a struggle. I decided to come to the other side. I just couldn't resist the layers of fog, and I'm not sure if you can see behind me here, but the layers of the fog and then there's streaks of light coming through from the sun. Should have got here at least half an hour earlier, so I'm going to come back here tomorrow. It's supposed to be nice weather again, so hopefully we'll get the fog. But what I'm concentrating on, I've got a 1 to 200 millimeter on, and I'm just concentrating on the backlit trees with the fog. even these trees in the foreground look really nice. So I won't spend too much time doing video because I really want to try and get the shot here. But I'll show you the images right now. Once again, I'd like to thank Skillshare for sponsoring this week's video. This past year has had its challenges, but it's also offered some surprising new opportunities. One opportunity was to spend more time taking up a new hobby, so I decided to head on over to Skillshare to see what I could find. Creativity and Beer, a brewmaster's guide to flavor emulation, instantly caught my attention. Master brewmaster Garrett Oliver shares his knowledge and the creative process of what it takes to stretch your beer brewing mind and palate towards new and exciting ways to brew beer. For under $10 a month, Skillshare has a plethora of topics to choose from. Sound interesting? I've placed a link in the description down below, and for the first 1,000 click-throughs, a free trial to Skillshare's premium membership. Go check it out. Right, we've come to a new location. I've never been to this beach before. It's another beach not far from Tofino, and actually we're just waiting for the light, the evening light. It's quite foggy in some patches, and then of course we have bright blue sky in other areas, so just kind of killing time for now. But I actually really quite like this scene here. It's very blue and it's very clean looking. We have these boulders with all this clean sand, and again I'm using a 10-stop ND filter to just smooth it out a little bit, because I find that the waves, even though they're not that big, they're a little bit distracting. So by smoothing that water out, it just eliminates any distractions altogether. So it's a very simple shot, but I think it might work. And actually the tide is coming in. So my exposure here is f16, and that's 30 seconds. So that's just smoothed it out really, really good. It's beautiful down here. What a really glorious day. So I've come out to this really wonderful area that Gavin has shown me, and what's really quite unique about this spot is that we have these islands with trees on them, just absolutely stunning. And when we got here it was quite clear, well it still is clear, but there weren't any clouds, but the clouds have kind of moved in a little bit and we're getting a little bit of color, so that's really nice. What I'm trying to do is include this peninsula in front of me kind of as a foreground, and then this island in the background. Looks like the tide's coming in. What's really cool is just over here there's a bald eagle nest with a couple of eagles nesting in it. They keep flying away and coming back. So right now I'm using my widest lens, which is a 23mm, and on I guess that would be, what would that be on 35 full frame? I guess it's about 18mm, and it's a little bit too wide. I just wanted to include the island there, but I'm just thinking that maybe I should do a vertical instead. Yeah, that might work. Now, what I've been doing lately is I've been using a 10-stop ND filter. I must be going through a phase, because I really love the effect. I know it can be overdone a little bit, but I do quite like the effect. So let's try this. Looks like the clouds are kind of moved away again, so we don't have any clouds in the background. Well, we can see what we can do anyway. So I'm just going to set up the shot, and we have this in the foreground, the island, and then I'll show you the image. After a bit of scrutiny, I actually preferred the horizontal over the portrait of this scene. The only thing that's really lacking is, once again, the light. It wasn't really in my favor. I do like the blue tones in this, but I think this would be much stronger if we had a few clouds in there and perhaps a little bit of warm light to really add some contrast between the blue in the foreground, in the shadows, and the background. Well, the next morning we did get up at 4 a.m. and hiked on up that hill for a third time near Cox's Bay, only to be thwarted by too much of a good thing, too much fog. We spent a couple of hours up in the location, but the fog never did clear. So I'm just going to have to go back for another trip one day to try and get that beautiful shot of the fog in the valley beyond the hillsides there. Right, everybody, thank you ever so much for watching this week's video. I really appreciate it. Please be sure to give me a thumbs up if you enjoyed it. And as always, if you enjoy the content of my channel, please consider subscribing. Till next time, bye for now.